Hey guys, welcome back to my life channel where I usually do a weekly vlog, but every once in a while I'll do a story time. And I figured that I've been pretty much talking about losing my car and being dramatic about that, but being really vague, and then getting a new car. And I'm gonna tell the story of how I totaled my car, my very first car. This car was this 2003 Kia Optima, champagne, looked like an old lady car, but I didn't care. It had no bells and whistles. Like, to get into this car, there was no button. I had to literally manually put my key into the lock to let myself or my friends in. And if there was an emergency and I needed a panic button, well, it's a good thing I just have a loud, waily voice because I didn't have that. But it still had some really good features to it, like a CD player. That's like a really nice, no, it wasn't nice. Every time I went over a bump, the CD would skip and it could only hold one CD. But like, it played CDs and the radio was pretty on point. So that's all I kind of needed to be satisfied. Like, everybody knew it was my car because when you go to a private school, everybody's first car is a BMW. But I loved this car. Now, granted, when you're in a panic situation and you just slam on the gas, it's like hit or miss. Like, will it work? Will it not? But, I survived. Did I ever get in an accident? No. Now, my car did suffer some damage while it was with me. And it wasn't me. I got backed into by Olivia's grandfather with his nicer truck. You know what? You don't gotta pay me. Let's just call it even and you continue to invite me on your family vacations. I got froyo by myself. I went to football games by myself. I went to no, I didn't go to any parties because nobody invited me to them. But still, I really ate a lot of froyo and a lot of football games and all of that, all by myself. But like a couple weeks ago, I had a very late afternoon shift and I tried starting my car. And I felt like all the lights were coming on, which is kind of abnormal because not all the lights did come on in my car. I think there was just like one warning light, but now all of a sudden the dashboard had every single warning light flashing. And I felt like my car wasn't starting. But then I realized that sometimes I get kind of anxious when I put my key in the car. Like, I'll hold it too long where it kind of sputters a bit. So I figured I wasn't holding it on long enough because by the time that I attempted it again, the car worked. And so that was fine. Then when I was driving home from work, when it was idle, it started making some weird noises, but because I started it fine and it drove fine, I didn't think anything of it. Well, somewhere along that day, some belt snapped. Now, I'm assuming I was listening to music and I just thought it was going with the beat. Like, I couldn't even tell that my belt had snapped. And so, whatever, I believe it was the timing belt, really expensive thing. Oh well, I'm just cruising along. So the next day I have a meeting. Get into my car starts, no problem. I hear a little bit of noise, but like, I just turn on the radio and turn it up and it's fixed, no noise. Drive to my meeting, no problem. I pull into a parking space and then all of a sudden my idle car goes really, really quiet and all the lights light up. And I'm thinking, wow, like, my car is a noisy car, this is really quiet, but I have no time to think. I gotta go to my meeting. Take out the keys, I bounce to the meeting, but then I come back and I call up my auto repair place. I'm like, hey, something's going on with my car. Yeah, like, no rush, still working. Maybe like just something casual. Hang up the phone, insert my key. It will not start. And I'm thinking, crap. So, of course, I don't know what to do. I've never had this experience. So, my mom is overseas. But I think, you know what, let me call her, wake her up, and make her panic that I'm in a medical emergency. She tells me, hey, this probably is just the battery. Contact AAA because I know they give that assistance. I knew that I had AAA, but I honestly didn't know if it was the battery because it wasn't just the battery light showing up. And I figured AAA was only there for roadside assistance and battery stuff. Like, that was it. Like, I didn't know how they could really help me. But I have a guy come out, he tests it, my battery is fine. So while he's asking me where my boyfriend's at and if he can be my boyfriend, he also manages to tell me that he thinks that it was the fuel relay or the fuel pump, something, but this baby needs towed. We say goodbye to the nice man. He calls me 30 seconds later, tells me it's an accident, but then says now I have his number. Ended the phone call. Never plan on saving that phone number. Called AAA again and asked them for a tow service. This was a very long day for me. It started sprinkling. The tow service guy came, super efficient, super nice, had a wife, so didn't have to worry about that. And we take it to my auto repair shop. The auto repair people are super booked up, but they finally get around to my car and they open it up and they realize not only did the belt snap, it completely whacked and trashed my engine, where the entire engine itself was going to need replaced because it was damaged upon repair. And they feel so bad for me knowing that I love this car, it's just a cheap little car, that they talk to my mom and, you know, and say like, do you want me to deliver the news to your daughter? Like, this is a really serious matter, and I'm glad that they understood that. So mom comes back, gives me the news, and says it's time to go car shopping. And that's how I ended up with the new car. Now, I love my new car, but it's a different kind of love, because I'll always love and miss and still wish I had and was driving my old Kia Optima. Oh, and I do want to address the vlog where I had the heat on so high. No, I was just having a ditzy moment where I didn't really know how to defog something, and there was no literal button that said defog. So what I was supposed to do was have some of the outside air into my car, but I had cut that off and made it internal circulation and made it as hot as possible for like a sauna in my car for an hour. Yeah, I'll admit on the internet, it was really, really dumb of me, but I did check with them, and that had nothing to do with the belt breaking, so don't come at me. I still treated my car with love. That concludes today's story. If you love storytime videos, I do have a few more on this channel, but I also have a whole lot more on my main channel, so I'll link everything in the outro. But I love you guys, and bye!